Hello! Today I'm going to teach you a trick with Google Sheets that I learned from A Primary Kind of Life on Instagram. So if you would like more ideas on how to apply this, you should definitely follow her on Instagram. Again, that's at A Primary Kind of Life. But that said, as there is no video, as most of the instructions for this are on her Instagram stories, I thought I would do a full-length video that my colleagues at my school can use to apply her tips and tricks. So, today we are looking at how to use Google Sheets to mark student participation, progress, attendance. Honestly, it could be used in a million different ways. The one thing that these checkboxes will not do for you, and it is an important limitation, is they do not have the nuance of partial credit. So by checking the box, you're saying either the student has completed the task or they haven't. Either they get the points or they don't. There's no middle ground. There's no, well, they get a 70. So if you want to do something like that, that requires a whole other use of Sheets. Totally doable in Sheets. It's just a different application. So checkboxes allow for speed. They allow for a very smooth calculation of what students have and have not done. I really like these checkboxes, and I hope you do too. So how do I do this? First of all, I go ahead and insert them because none of my cells have the checkboxes, right? So go to Insert, down here to Checkbox, and here we go. Now the checkboxes work like text, so you can manipulate them like text. You can set a font value, for example, not that the font changes a whole lot, and you can set size if you want to make them bigger or smaller, and you can also change their color, their text color. So here you go, now it's red. You can personalize these to your heart's content or not, up to you. One other thing worth noting is that you can fill these if you wanted to. It looks a little busy to me, but if you wanted to just dump it full of color and then make the boxes white, you could, and it would have a very similar effect. But again, it's just super busy, and so I have not opted for that, but you can formulate the cells however you want. Now, the most important thing with these is that they have an actual value assigned to them. So I assign these cells value by selecting all of them, going up to the top and going to Data, Data Validation. And what I'm saying is for every checked box, I want it to be worth 5 points. And for any unchecked box, I want it worth 0 points. Now that said, if I wanted each individual column to be worth different point values, I could totally do that, right? I just have to select a column at a time and assign it a point value. For the sake of today, I'm just going to make them all 5, but FYI, you totally can do that. So, save. Here we go. Now they're all worth 5 points if they have been checked off. And as you can see, as I move around checking off boxes, these values are changing. I'm going to show you how to do that too in just a second. So, now I've got my boxes. They're beautiful colors. I have given each a value of 5 points. I'm now going to go over and I'm going to make this total column. This doesn't exist until you create it. It doesn't just come with the package. So what I'm going to use is the sum feature. So actually let's open up here. And if you go over here to sum and the functions, all right, what you'll do is you'll simply drag, and there they are. Now you could type them, C2 colon G2 if you wanted to, but dragging is so easy. Click enter and there it is for you. Now once you know the formula works and you're like, yep, those are all 5 points, that should equal 25, that checks out, you can just grab it, drag it, and it applies all the way down for you seamlessly. It will adjust as you look at this one. Look, it's C3 to G3, so it knows how to move. C4 to G4, etc. Then let's move over here to percentage. So as we move to percentage, I've done a whole lot in this column. I want to be able to see what percentage of tasks students have completed, and I've also wanted to do some color coordinating here so I can visually see what's happening with my data. If it's green, I can go, oh, okay, this kid's fine. If it's red, oh no, I need to worry about them. So first things first, how do I formulate this 100? Now I'll note that it does not come out looking like this initially. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to go here to a box and you're going to do a different kind of formula. Instead of the sum, easy sum formula we did, you can just make your own. So you just do equal sign, and in parentheses, you're going to select the box in the total column, so H2 in this case, and this sign will work for division, and because I know it's out of a total of 25 points, I'm going to say 25, and equals. Now you can see it just says 1. Well, that doesn't help me a whole lot, does it? Because a 1 is not a 100. So what I'm going to have to go is over here and do is click on percent, and there it is for me, which is fantastic. The other thing I'm going to have to do though is I'm going to have to move those decimal places over if I want to. It will naturally round up for me though, which is really nice. Now, I've done that to this whole column, and once I knew that it looked like this, I simply took this and moved it all the way down. Ta-da! And you can see these numbers match those numbers, so it definitely, all the formulas are working. The next thing I do then, let's get rid of all this, is I wanted to do some conditional formatting so that I could see very easily, very quickly how a student was doing. So I went over to Format, Conditional Formatting, and there's Color Scale. Now with the color scale, there's a whole lot you can do. If you don't like all of these colors, you can just click on it again for custom, and you could have it be from white to dark green, you could have it be yellow, red, etc. I really liked this custom color scale from green, yellow, and red. It's like stoplights. I thought it was a very appealing range, so I clicked on that. Now, when you click on this, the default, look, the red is the color for 100. Now that doesn't jive for me mentally, so the minimum value, you can't change that. So you can go over here, and in the colors, you can see that red, yellow, and green have been added to my custom colors down here. So I'm like, no, I want red for my minimum. I still like yellow for my midpoint at 50, but I'm going to use green now for my max value. And here it is ready to go for me. Now you could also, for the record, with this custom setting, if you wanted to change these, you totally could. You could just add more custom colors. I opted to leave it alone. I thought it kind of moved quite smoothly through the transition. And I say, okay, that works for me, done. So now I have a way of tracking student progress that is a living transitional document. And let's say this is a weekly thing for me, right? I know that I'm going to do this every single week. There's going to be a variety of tasks I'm going to ask of students. Easy enough here to simply copy this sheet, and we can copy to a new spreadsheet. Or I can copy to an existing spreadsheet. So that opened up a new one somewhere in my drive. I can copy it to an existing spreadsheet. So this one, for example, which is what I've labeled it, Sheets Practiced. And look, there's a copy of the tab here for me, right? So I can simply copy these tabs and paste them over and over again. I can add a new tab. That's the other way of doing this, for the record, is if you just add down here, adding new sheets, and you go to the original sheet, and you copy the whole kit and caboodle, right? I'm using Control-C personally. Go over to sheet 2, and you want to make sure the formatting sticks with it, so I'm going with Paste Special, and I'm going to paste all except borders. There it is. It transferred beautifully for me. All right, so you can just copy this over and over again. I right-clicked, Paste Special, and there it is with all my beautiful formatting ready to go. And look, it still works. All my formatting, it's great. And I can use this one sheet that I took a few minutes to create every single week. And again, this can be used for any task where it's just completion. So extra credit, participation, attendance to tutorials, whatever floats your boat. You could also use this for participation in class discussions, or doing chores, or doing, gosh, I don't know, whatever, anything in your class where it's just completion, right? Of course, with sheets, you can also do a lot more with data in terms of averages, and you can show test scores, you can insert graphs, and any number of other things. But I thought this was a really easy way to get started with familiarizing yourself with sheets just in general. I hope this helped. I hope you thought it was fun, and please let me know if there's anything else that you want to play with. I'm here to play along.